What is going on, beautiful folks? Welcome to another episode of Mornings with Lee Hammock, your favorite self-aware narcissist. Today, we're going to be talking about how movies influence narcissistic people, how movies can influence narcissists, y'all. And this is true for a lot of people who are dealing with narcissistic relationships. Like, this is true coming from the perspective of a narcissist who has been influenced by movies. Before we hop deep into today's episode, y'all, make sure, if you haven't already, check out my kid's book. Remember, it's not your fault. It's available on Amazon. The conversation starter for your kids to let them know, hey, it's not your fault. You know, what you're going through is not your fault. You're a child, and whatnot. But yes, how movies influence narcissists and toxic people is a big thing, y'all. Because a lot of people don't really grasp how true this is. Because a lot of people don't realize that, how do narcissists act like narcissists? How do narcissists get to the point where they are, you know what I mean? How do narcissists get to the point where they are narcissists? Like, how do they get this way? How do we get this way? And whatnot. So for me, movies have influenced a lot of my behaviors, even from early childhood. Like, movies are where I feel like I learned how to behave, where I learned how to blend in, where I learned how to actually get people to like me. You know what I mean? As growing up, you want people to like you. You want girls. You want to get boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever. You want to get into relationships and whatnot. But if you have this personality disorder, you're always on the defensive and you don't really know how to do that. You don't really know how to blend. So guess what? You watch movies. Disney movies. Disney movies show a lot of people think like, how does my narcissistic person know how to be Prince Charming? Because they watched Prince Charming growing up, possibly. You know what I'm saying? They mirrored Prince Charming growing up. This is, and on the other side of the dynamic, the survivors or victims, they were watching the other the people who were getting wooed. They were watching the people get love bombed. They were watching the Disney romances. They were watching the Disney love and feel like, oh, that's what should happen. My partner should love bomb me. Love bombing works. You see, Disney and other movie studios and movies in general have been conditioning people for this type of behavior. They have been conditioning people for this type of, to act this way, to behave this way, to think this way, to talk this way, to look this way. They've been conditioning people for a very, very long time. So if you're dealing with a narcissistic person, this is part of the mindset. This is a part of how things go right here. They're going to do certain things to you based on the movies that they watch. Like, seriously, like, even growing up, growing up, narcissistic people, we watch these love stories and we mimic. It's not even just Disney movies. It's love stories in general, love movies in general, rom-coms, romantic comedies. We watch those type of movies and we take on the traits of the person that we want to be like. Oh, that's how you get girls right there. Oh, okay. I can be like that. I just have to be funny. Oh, I just have to be this. I have to say this type of stuff. I have to act like this. I have to dress like this. I have to be this. I have to make this much money. I have to, I have to tell them what they want to hear. I have to give them this fairy tale wedding, this fairy tale dreams and stuff like that. So the movies that we watch growing up do tend to influence how we behave. Like, we mimic, we model and mirror the people that we see in movies that inspire us, or that we're jealous of, or that we could be. Imagine being envious of a Disney character, like somebody that is not real, right? So we become extremely envious of the people, of the people in the movies and whatnot. We become extremely envious of these people. We become extremely, apprehensive towards these type of people. This is where our minds go. This is the dynamic, and this is the space that so many people fall into right here. Like, when you're dealing with an abusive person, when you're dealing with a narcissistic person, like, we watch these movies and they get ingrained into our heads. And I don't, I'm not just saying, this is not me trying to say, I know some people might hear this and just like, Lee, that sounds like an excuse. It sounds like a cop out. No, it's not an excuse or a cop out. Like, a lot of times growing up, you mirror the things and the people around you. I think that's true not just for narcissists, but I feel like that's true for most people. You model and you mirror the people that are around you. Like, so we model and mirror the people that we see in the movies, especially if our caretakers, our parental figures are not good role models. We role model the people that we see on TV. We become this type of stuff. Or not, it's just not just movies. It could be music. It could be musicians and people like that. It can be artists, rappers, actors, actresses, you know, any type of person like that. A country music star, somebody like that. Usher. I used to want to be Usher. I had my haircut like Usher. You know, when I was younger, I'm like, man, I need to learn how to dance too. Usher be dancing. You know, that's how you get the girl. He got the girl dance. He'd be dancing. That's just sounds goofy now, but that's literally how my mind was working back in the day. I was just felt like I needed to be Usher, because that's how you get girls. I used to read Cosmopolitan magazine. Y'all remember Cosmo magazine? I used to read Cosmo magazine to just learn like stars. They're just like us. You know, read the section about, you know, what girls like, how to get girls, and things like that. So I would just become the people I read in Cosmo magazine. So we used to model and mirror so much. We modeled and mirrored so many people, and whatnot growing up. Like, so the movies that were put in front of us, of course, we're going to model and mirror the stuff that we see. You know, and this is not me just trying to be like, well, of course, like, what do you think this is supposed to happen? This is how things go. No, this is realistically me just telling you, like, we are modeling the things that we see. We are modeling the people that are around us. So the movies, especially we get plopped in front of the TV. I feel like this is more prevalent now. I know we watched movies growing up, but a lot of times I feel like, and this just could be my implicit bias right here, just my bias in general. I feel like my generation was more geared towards going outside and being outside all day. We watch movies on the weekends, watch cartoons on the weekends and stuff like that. So we modeled the people, we might have modeled the Power Rangers or something like that on Saturday morning when school wasn't in. But for the most part, we were outside doing stuff and activities and things like that for the non-introverted kids or whatnot. You know what I mean? But nowadays, I feel like kids are so apt to be inside and be watching movies and be watching television shows that it makes sense that they pick up on things like that are going on right now, right? It makes sense that they would see how things are going and see how things are being handled out here in the real world and model that type of stuff. You know, you see somebody like you model. There's some people who model politicians. They model their whole personality after, you know, like Andrew Tate or somebody else. So like, you know, some people in the red pill spaces and whatnot, because like, oh, they get the girls, they get the girls and they're tough and they're popular, they're famous. So I'm gonna be just like that. No, it just, I feel like a lot of people right now, because social media puts people that are around the world right in front of your face. Movies are on demand. You know, we used to put a VCR tape back in my day to watch a movie to find somebody how to model, you know, it was somebody to mirror and become like. But we watch those movies, watch those TV shows and whatnot. Nowadays, like, you know, DVDs still exist, man. I just bought the Battlestar Galactica Blu-ray disc set just for GP, you know, for general purposes, and when I just to have it. But I was just like, do DVDs even exist anymore? You know, so there's so much information and so many people that you can model that are out here right in front of your face nowadays. It's just like, you know, why not do it? It's just like Netflix is on demand, Hulu on demand, what's that? Tubi, Roku, Tubi, Peacock, all these other streaming services, HBO, Disney, all this stuff. It's the Disney Prince and princesses are right there in front of you to model and mirror. You do see what I'm saying? This is what just happens, y'all. I just feel like movies and music and things like that influence narcissistic people to take on the behaviors of what benefit them and suit them the most. Not because they want to be like this, but because they take it on, they start doing this stuff because they see a direct benefit in it for them. All right. Yeah. So if you, like I said, make sure you hit the subscribe button, y'all. I kept this video short and sweet to the point. All the other good stuff. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And as always, y'all, mental illness is out. Peace. Thank you so much for making it to the end of my video. I am extremely grateful for you. Have no idea. If you haven't already, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Helps reach more people. And click on the screen to watch another video or to browse through another playlist. There's also a link on the screen to check out my courses and my support groups to help you heal and understand what you've been through. Thank you so much again. I will see you in the next video.